Hello everybody, Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video. Go ahead and take your seat, fasten that seat belt, pull that lap restraint down, and get ready for this ride because we're about to play Planet Coaster. So, if you've seen the previous parts, you know we've already started building a park. Well, disregard that because Alpha 2's out, and gosh dang, I didn't mean to do that. But Alpha 2's out, and we are ready to start a new park because I figured it'd be more appropriate. Plus, my Alpha 1 park doesn't look so great right now with Alpha 2's update. It kind of looks strange anyways. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into Alpha 2. So, I went ahead and deleted those 3 pathways because I don't like having those 3 pathways there because I want them elsewhere. So here in Alpha 2, as you can see, we already have an option to actually change the texture of the pathway we've already placed. So if we want to change it later, you can always change it. I'm going to go ahead and change it to this because that's what we're going to have. Is that path right there. Very beautiful. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and do a kind of a piratey theme because that's what, you know, not because everyone else is doing it. It's because that's what I feel I could create the best at, is kind of a piratey theme park. So we're gonna go ahead and go with that theme. I know a lot of people are kind of bored of that theme, but it's all honesty, you know, that's probably the best theme we create. I've seen people create different themes, but we're gonna go with that just because it will be I think the best, you know, for what we do have available to us. So I'm going to create a centerpiece. I'm used to actually creating, you know, building my park, you know, jumping around each area of my parks, but I'm going to try and do my best to just create each section individually as best as I can rather than kind of rush it, because I am kind of famous for rushing my parks. Because I'm a little bit impatient with that sometimes. So what we're going to do, I'm going to try and get this even as possible. That's not even. Very hard to get this even. It doesn't have to be centered, just even. That will work for now. So we're going to go ahead and create the coaster, or the Pirate King statue guy here, because he is the Pirate King. And we're going to go place these ships kind of off to the sides. Did I place that backwards? Yes, I did. And we're going to create kind of this centerpiece statue slash fountain thing. Whatever you would like to call it. We're going to do a little bit of rock work right over here. Kind of rotate it so we get a little bit of variety to all this rock work, piece by piece. Got some new rocks for Alpha 2 as well, which is very nice. Make this small and patch up those green areas with this rock. That way we have no green. Green doesn't always mean healthy. I don't think I got that centered very well, but it's centered enough. Go ahead and place this rock right there, and we'll just place a number of rocks right here, because rocks. They are beautiful. I definitely want to get into the terrain tool as well, as that's also new here in Alpha 2. And it's quite nice. People seem to really like the terrain tool, and I can obviously see why. So something new is the visual effects. I'm going to go ahead and add some water jets. here. I'm going to hold control to try and get as symmetrical as possible. Some water jets. I also want to add some steam jets here to our Pirate King, just to make him look more epic. And I'll also add some to the rocks over here just because it will look pretty cool as well. Alright, so we got that. Add just a little bit of steam right here as well. To give a really cool effect. And we'll see how this looks now after unpausing it. So there's our Pirate King. Look how cool he is with his steam and his water. It looks pretty awesome. And look at the water. I mean, there's no water in the game yet. This is the closest we got to water. And it looks pretty delicious. Pretty awesome. I could just drink that water right up. And it looks like when you zoom in, it looks like you are drinking it because it kind of disappears a little bit. Alright. And that steam effect. I really like these visual effects. It would be awesome if you could sync them up with your rides in the future. I think that's their plan in the first place. So, let's do that. I hope they do that. So let's go to the nature and just kind of give a little bit green to these rocks and stuff because they're a little bit too plain for my taste. If it will let me, I probably should have done this before I placed the other things. Oh, got a spot there. There we go. That'll work. And we're gonna add some palm trees because that's the most in theme. Let's rotate it a little bit so it doesn't look exactly the same. We'll put some palm trees. Is that levitating? Yes, it is. Put some palm trees here in the center of this grassy patch and this grassy patch, and we'll add a little bit of grass by taking this plant and lowering it, which I like to do because it gives it a little more natural look with the kind of grassy feel. Place that down there, and that'll fit nicely right there. And we can, I like this bush. It's a pretty nice bush, so we'll go ahead and place these in the corners. I want it to look pretty symmetrical. And we can place this rock here because it is the smallest one. And just kind of rotate it a couple times and place it in our little grassy area. It's a nice little tree, but we'll get some fern, kind of like a fern over here, kind of a palmy type thing. Whoops, I accidentally pressed X, didn't mean to do that. It's also another cool thing is if you press X, you'll actually get some precise placements as well, which is actually very neat to have as well. Alright, so that's looking pretty piratey and themey right there, right? Alright. Place a little yellow flowers here. Just a little bit to spice it up. There we go, yeah! And that's good for that. And I want to add some buildings off to the side here to kind of enclose this little section. I haven't even started placing pathways yet. That's how insanely detailed we're going into each section. Alright, I'll go put this as far as I can over to the side. Alright. Just kind of like that. Go ahead and place some walls here. Actually, I messed that up. I wanted to actually place this a little further down here. And we'll continue that way, like so. And this will be a building that I will be quite proud of if I can place this correctly. because I'm not doing it right. And we're gonna go ahead and place some walls as well. Just around the corner. And this is probably one of the most time-consuming things, building buildings, because, you know, they have to be perfect, they have to be exactly the way you need them, and you got to be very creative with them, otherwise they won't look the way you want them to. And if they don't look the way you want them to, then it's probably incorrect. And by no means am I really great at creating awesome buildings, but I do feel like I'm getting better. I missed a building or a part over here. There we go. And it's nice to have these tops as well. They work very well at the same time, which I will use here for this building. And there we go. And I want to create a diagonal part as well. I think there's a way to do that. If you just click the building and do this, you can actually create a diagonal section. And I think, I hope I'm right on this. No, I actually think it does not work. It will still remain as building, or actually create a different building. So I'm not exactly sure how that works, but either way it will still work. So we'll go ahead and create an outline here for this as best as we can. And create a roof section. Or a, it's not a roof. It's in the roof section, but it's pretty much not a roof. No one uses it as a roof because it doesn't really cover as a roof. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Guess I use it. Never mind. I was right. Use the half-piece stucco building. And we're going to use the top, little topper here. Make it look all pretty like. Yeah, that looks cool. Alright, and then I could possibly make a street section as well. This is all just for show as well, which is the incredible part. Yeah, so it made it a different building. Go here and just kind of line it up as best as you can, which will work. There, and ta-da. Didn't want to say ta-da before I knew I had it. I needed it. You know, just adding, having buildings kind of merge together really works well to create character to the buildings and make them look better. That way you just don't have a square or rectangle building that's kind of boring. This just really adds to it. You know, I've really figured that out a lot. You know, and I haven't even done any detail work on these yet, and they still look pretty decent. So yeah, and now we can go ahead and get to the roofing. Get to the roofing here. So we got the roofs. I'm gonna go ahead and use these, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the corner pieces first. And we're going to use kind of these parts right here. To create a nice roof. Sometimes the auto stacking isn't the greatest for roofs. Can kind of get a little... Alright, so now we need to just create... As you can see, the auto stacking's a little bit funky, but that's a pretty nice roof. And we go to this one, kind of do the same thing, and I think it will work. But just place these. Again, auto stacking, kind of probably not the best solution here. Corner here. And I think it's right there. Brilliant. Add that there. And that there. And that there. Not there. There. Alright, next building. Place these up here. And, you know, buildings are important, but at the same time, it's a very kind of a time-consuming thing that you're like, I don't want to do it, but at the same time, I know I need to get it done. I didn't do this one over here yet. You know, and sometimes it's nice you can put like maybe a flat part on top of them, maybe like so. You can also do that instead of doing these as well, and it works pretty well at the same time. So there we go. We got kind of our shape of what this building is going to be, and then you mainly just got to decorate it. Let's go ahead and start off with a door possibly, and I like to use F and then just kind of drag it to where you need it. And we'll use, say, these. And if you hold down F, obviously you can snap to these sections. So you see you can do it freely, or if you press F, it will actually snap to the sections, which is actually a very nice touch that they add, or that they have in this game. So you can also go to decorations, and that's where all your lanterns and stuff are. Sometimes I like to use F just to get it centered, like so, and then I just move it up to where I actually want it. Let's see. Kind of want to add this. I don't really know what these things are, but they look cool, right? And then you can actually like put little lanterns on top of these, which I think look pretty good. You know, just adding your details is always kind of can always be a tough thing, but you just gotta kind of figure out, since we're going with a pirate theme, it might be appropriate to put these over the windows, kind of like that. And it's looking pretty cool. I kind of want to go layer by layer, so we're starting on the bottom here, and when you get a lot of stuff in the way, it's kind of hard to get your camera where you need it, and it's actually not cooperating right now. Alright, so we got that there, and we can actually see if we can't use this as something. And that will look actually pretty nicely. Work pretty nicely. And then on the wall extras, I do like to use this wooden beam kind of sometimes. Works very nicely for corners, which I can't actually do here because it's too close to the edge, but that's alright. We'll use it elsewhere. But I guess we don't have to use it now. They also added these columns, which are really nice. Could be a really nice touch for the buildings themselves. Or you can even use these wooden ones. And I like to start from the top sometimes and work my way down. That way I don't have any battling textures whatsoever. But it's looking good. Let's see if we can find some more building attachments to put onto here. So since we're going with a piratey theme, we can add some flags possibly too, which I think is under decorations actually. What is exactly a pirate bell? This is actually a bell. Oh, okay, I see it. So you can put like pirate things like that, or pirate flags. So I'm gonna put pirate flags, which will work kind of well. Let me go back to attachments. You got like these little things you can use. You can use balconies. And really just add just little details will make it look good. You know, if you're not happy with the placement, you can do that. Then press X and you can even adjust it exactly where you need it. And click. There it is. And another thing is using the platform overhang in the roofs. It can be a pretty good little thing to use for something like that. Just a very small layer detail that can really kind of add to the overall look of the building. And just little details. Really, like just details in general. Like there's always so much you can always add. Like it's always good to have lanterns around so you can, didn't mean to click off of it. They provide a little bit of light, which is always nice to have as well. I had these, and I always like to put lanterns on top of these. As you can see, that will probably be pretty well lit. And then we can go up here and add some more attachments at the top as well. And a lot of people say you don't want to put too many windows, but sometimes they're a very good thing to add. Maybe at the top like this, and just kind of different. You know, you just gotta do it in a way. And then maybe like put these in between. Sometimes just eyeballing it works just fine as well. I mean, eyeballing stuff can work quite a bit. These lanterns every so often, just as an extra layer of detail. And there you go. I mean, look at that. It doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't look great, so could add a little bit more. And sometimes these overhangs are nice to add, or a good touch to add. Using F can really be your friend when lining these up perfectly, because it will snap them directly where you need it to snap. And then you just line it up. This part you have to eyeball, but it still works. And since I got so many stuff in the way, it's tough to get in the spot I need it in the first place. Alright, now we need the railing, which, if you have it in the right spot, should be able to snap. Well, maybe not. Maybe not to this, anyways. You can always use control and just make sure you keep that over here. If you don't keep it in the right spot, it will do what it just did there. And I don't remember pressing X, but okay. But we're good. Really, you don't. You can just do that and it'll work just fine. But using your keys are definitely the key to getting this where you want. So if I need to push it in, just use the appropriate key and it will work just fine. And you got a nice little balcony over the that spot right there, and it looks pretty good. And then you can go ahead and go through here and add lanterns on top of the sections here. Sometimes I'll get rid of the align to surface and just get it the exact spot where I want these. And a palm tree got in the way, but it's alright. And at night that will probably perform or get some pretty good lighting on the building right there, so that will work very nicely. And for a final little thing, these are always well to use as like chimneys and stuff, so they work very well in that aspect. Because they are chimneys, I guess, now that I think about it. And placing a couple of them is never a bad idea. So, as you can see, this is pretty well detailed. Is it the best in the world? Probably not, but I'd say it looks pretty decent and not a bad building at all. So we still gotta detail these as well, but overall it's a very tedious and you have to be very pretty tedious and time-consuming thing when you want to get something done exactly the way you need it. So overall, I think it turned out pretty decent. Again, a lot of details that you can add to make it the way you want. So, but anyways, this is the first episode completed. It's going to take a while, and I'm going to try and do my best to upload a little bit more regularly with Planet Coaster, especially this park. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day and a even cooler tomorrow. Sorry it got a little bit lengthy, but these episodes are probably going to be pretty lengthy for what they are. So again, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.